And I'm back. JY guys out with a quick, unrehearsed, unscripted nature, knowledge, and coffee. I was in the middle of making a video and I just bumped into a good friend of mine. But basically, guys, what I want to talk in today's video, what I want to talk about is decision making. You know, making the right decision, because I get it from people all the time. You know, how do I know I'm making the right decision, or how do I know I'm making the wrong decision? And here's the thing, right? Is we're all bound to make a decision. We're always making decisions. Life is just a bunch of decisions strung together. That's all life is. It's just a bunch of decisions, yes or no, right? So when we make a decision, we're just choosing yes. We either go ahead with something, or no, we don't go ahead with something. And some people sort of get stuck on a maybe, but eventually what happens is that maybe becomes a yes or a no. Now, what makes a decision right or wrong is our thought pattern at the time of making the decision. Because if we're constantly focusing on what it is that we want, and if we can hold that image, or we can hold that thought at the forefront of our mind and really focus on that thought, we're always almost certain to make the right decision. There is no such thing as the wrong decision, guys. What makes it right or wrong is what we're focusing on at the time of making that decision. So don't stress so much about making the right or wrong decision, guys. What you want to be doing is you want to be focusing on what it is that you really want, right? Really focusing on ideals and the perfect scenario. Because once you focus on that, you will then naturally make the right decision at the time, because we always do. We always make the right decision at the time we're making it. We always end up making the perfect decision because we're feeling it, right? So now there's a difference between life or death situation and then making a decision that is future based, right? So when it's a life or death situation, guys, what happens is we don't make the decision. Our body takes over, our brain takes over, our survival kicks in. We go into survival mode and we just naturally end up making the right decision at the right time. So when people say shit like, you know, oh, if you had a gun to your head, would you do this, or you would do that, or if your life depended on it. But reality is, when we're making decisions, our life doesn't really, we don't look at it like that. We don't look at it as life or death situation, because in reality it's not, you know. Very, very few instances in our life where we are faced with a life or death situation. The rest of the time it's just making a decision. And a lot of people get caught, and a lot of people procrastinate on making the right decision. Not because they don't know what decision to make, but they don't know what it is that they want out of life. So we never end up making a decision. We get stuck at a maybe. And then because we're not definite, we end up making the wrong decision, because that maybe, like I said, eventually turns into a yes or a no. So then what happens is we end up making what we interpret as the wrong decision. So don't stress so much about making the right decision as much as you do about thinking, or always focusing on what it is that you actually want to happen in your life, in any area. You can apply this to business, you can apply this to love, relationships, you can apply this to any area of your life, right? Having crystal clear focus and understanding of what it is that you want out of that aspect of your life, you are almost guaranteed to make the right decision when you have to. You just feel it. And that's why I come on these walks here, right? It's because when I come on these walks, I know that my thoughts are going to determine the decision that I make, and the decision is always going to influence the outcome of what it is that I'm trying to achieve. So I'll just drop everything if I can. I'm not saying all the time, but when I can, I just drop everything, come out into nature, clear the mind, refocus, and then get back into life. That 1 hour that I spend doing this ends up saving me a lot of time in making the wrong decision. So get out there, guys, and focus on what it is that you want, rather than stressing out about if you're making the right or the wrong decisions. Peace out.